Hey folks, Duncan here from Digitally Reincarnated Technologies. In this third tutorial here, I'm going to show you how to take the pieces that are cut off the Orc Chieftain from the Sinti Studios Dungeon Orc Chieftain, and we're going to make it work with the modular fantasy character. So the first thing I'm going to do is go and take the character, and what we're going to do is turn off everything except the head that we're using. And we're going to set it up to work much like the elf ears do. So if we go to the all gender parts, extras, ears, they have the ears there. When you turn these on, they are sets of 2. We can set them up the same way with what we are doing, or you can do them as individuals. It's up to you with how you want to get them set up. But we'll go in and set that up accordingly. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go and make our own set of ears here. So what we're going to do here first is edit this head. I'm going to turn these off. And we're going to start with this head. So we're going to start with Mesh Cutter. Again, we're going to lock this item, and we'll call it head. And what we want to do is delete these ears. So the elf ears were designed to overlay over top of these without showing any of them. But the orc ears will actually have parts of these ears stick out, mostly along the bottom and a bit along the top. So we're just going to remove them all together. Okay, got rid of those. Again, if you want to use all the heads, you'll have to do this for each of them. I'm going to hit delete. We'll relock this and resave it and hit unlock. Now, when we go in here and we find head, we can put it on this model, make sure it's there, and we're good to go there. Okay. Now, let's make some ears. So, what we want to do here is open up the root till we find head, neck, head, and on here we want to create an empty game object. Then we're going to add 2 empty game objects to it, and we're going to drop the ears on. Okay, they're up here right now, and just to make it easy to see them, we'll drop the material on them. Now, if you want to make the earrings part of it, you can add 2 more game objects and add the earrings. I'm not going to do that at the moment. Okay. And we'll go see if we can get these lined up properly. All right. So again, some of the ears would stick out because they're a bit big. So what we're going to do is set this to, let's go 1.15. And see if we can get them lined up one at a time here. A little bit of a gap there. Try 1.2. We'll rotate this a bit. A little bit of the corner sticking up there. See if that cut out the holes. Slight hole there, slight hole at the bottom. Just takes some tinkering to get them to exactly the right spot. A little bit of scaling might need to be done some more. Okay. See what it's like with that scale. Ideally, if I can get these lined up perfectly, you can just use the numbers that I come up with if you want. That seemed to work. So we are going to do 0.5. And we'll try to get this lined up now on the side. Gotta look at it at all the funny angles, make sure it fits. Slight gap in there. Too much. Okay. Oh, you know what? We did not do the rotations. 5, 3, 4. No, 5, 3, 7. I normally have an asset in where I can grab each of these one at a time, but I haven't done it on this project. And minus 0.388. Okay, let's see if that can get it lined up a bit better here. That's why I did it too far in. Okay. Good enough for tutorial here. You get the idea. Just gotta get it all lined up so that it will work here for it. There we go. All right. So now that we've got those lined up, oh, that one's a little bit off from the distance, but that's all right. You get the idea. We're going to go into the tool here, combine meshes, and we're going to call it Orc done here. Okay. You can delete those. Go grab Orc done, drop it on there. And we need to 100, 100, 100, I believe it is there. There you go. So now the ears are ready to go. You can drop them on like a kind of helmet. Depending on your game, you can set that all up. If you want, you could always get a skin mesh combiner. Try to combine them all into one. Okay, so that one's done. And if you want to see what they look like there you go. Now, as it stands right now, this is the Cinti modular material. Obviously, they were made for dungeons. I'll show you how to change those after. But right now, it's set up with leather and I believe metal there. slight gap in there when I'm looking, but it takes a little tinkering, but you can get them into the right spot. All right, now what we're going to do is we're actually going to edit the head here again, but we're going to do it a bit differently. We're going to go and grab head here. We're going to go try selector, edit mesh. We'll hit don't save. All right, and what we want to do now is get rid of the mouth. It's not going to play nice with me here. Okay, we're going to do this again. Right click, try selector, edit mesh. There we go. So we're going to select the mouth. We don't want it to be skin color. We want it to be stubble. Save mesh. I'm going to save over what we just had there. It's going to save it as a .mesh this time, whereas the other one was a .asset. .asset, .mesh. So same thing. We're going to go and open the character. Turn off the wireframe. There we go. Modular, male parts, head. And we'll turn off all of this. There it is. So there's this. So he no longer has a mouth there. Now we could drop the ears on there, but now we're going to set up the mouth. So same thing. We're going to go and find the head. There we go. Empty game object. Empty game object. Duplicate it. And we're going to set up the mouth on one and the tusks on one. There they are. Okay. I believe it's minus 157 in this case. There we go. And we pull them out, find where it's going to look good. Again, we don't want any gaps, so let's go grab this. Same thing, leather and metal. Let's see if we can pull that out some. Grab the tusks and pull them out some. That's looking all right there. Okay. So we'll go and select this. Mesh combine. We'll call this one Orc done 2 for the tutorial. Alrighty. And same thing. We can delete these now off here. And throw that on there. Same thing. 100, 100, 100. There's that. And then we will do the same thing here. Create empty. Don't want it as an attachment. We want it on here. Create empty. Work done. And I forgot to save the settings on them when I did it last one. So it would involve me moving them back down. Should be around minus 157 again. There we go. Okay, so now in this case, we're going to go in here. These were the mouth, so orc mouth. And the female does have a different mouth, so if you're going to make the female, make sure to do that one separate. We'll drag that into there. Orc ears. We'll drag that down into there. Okay. Alrighty, so now we've got that. We can put the material on them. You can see what they look like. If you're good with them just like that, that's up to you. If you want them to match the skin color, we can do that too. So let's do this with the ears. Try selector. No. And here we go. So in my case here, I want all of them to be skin color. So I have to go in and select every triangle I want to change. Clicking too fast and missing things. Need to add a thing in here to turn off that box. I may try to add in the control click to grab everything. The other thing I might do is just put in a bulk drop in and does the whole mesh. Might do that before I actually put the tool online today. Alright, back. Alright, those are the insides of the ears. I'm not too worried about them. Alright, so we selected them all. We're going to hit skin color. Save mesh. Done deal. Now, when we go and do the character again, or even just thing here, so we've got the dot asset dot mesh. So we're using the dot mesh here. We're going to open up the ears. We're going to replace it with the dot mesh version, which I have here. Dot mesh. And now when we drop the thing on there, you've got skin color instead. Okay, so you can do this with all the different pieces. You can cut the hair off of different models that aren't modular, the beards, eyebrows, different eyes. You could probably do this with the new faceplates for both kids and adults from the new assets that came out. And for that matter, there's nothing stopping you from cutting up other non-Cinti models to get pieces that way too. In doing this, you could potentially make modular fairies from Fantasy Kingdoms, cut off the Jester's hat to put that in the game. It gets a little more complicated when you start doing things like torsos and legs, because for the skin mesh to line up properly as a modular piece, all the vertices need to line up. That's much better to do in Blender or Maya LT. But yeah, so thanks for watching the video. Make sure to check out the other ones I did, including how to make fantasy modular dwarves. And feel free to drop a line and let me know what you guys think.